For most of my life, social media was not really a part of who I was. I actually enjoyed being away from my phone. I even didn't have internet in my house. But this was until 2020. The world stopped. COVID arrived. Universities closed. Classes moved online. Suddenly, my entire life existed behind the screen. Studying, talking to friends, watching lectures, gaming and scrolling. Everything happened on the internet, and without even realizing it, I started to build some habits that stayed with me longer after the quarantine has ended. The lockdown has disappeared, but my relationship with social media did not. Definitely, I will be answering that question. How did I control social media for 5 years? But first, we need to answer a different one. Why do we need to control social media? Before criticizing social media, I think we should be honest. It's one of the greatest inventions of our generation. It connects people across continents. It spreads knowledge faster than any generation before us could imagine. I have learned photography from it, filmmaking, video editing, some graphic design skills, and many other skills. I have discovered books that changed my life. And honestly, this YouTube channel wouldn't even exist without social media. So this is not a video about deleting Instagram or pretending technology is evil, because it is not. The problem begins when something designed to serve us slowly begins to control us instead. And for me, I didn't notice that this is happening because it happened quietly. During quarantine, my brain got used to something. Every free moment, there was another video, another reel, another game, another notification, another reason to stay on the screen just a little longer. At first, it made perfect sense because there was nowhere else to go. I'm staying at my home. And months later, life returned, but my habits did not. I realized how this quarantine period was the worst in my life, and researchers have started talking about something called the brain rot. It is not a medical diagnosis, but it describes something many of us recognize. Our attention becomes fragmented, silence feels uncomfortable, reading or doing any active work feels so hard. Doing one thing at a time feels almost impossible, and honestly, I didn't need research to convince myself with that. I could feel it, actually. I was not enjoying social media anymore. I was reaching for it automatically and doing it for no purpose. Almost every empty moment, my hand moved toward my phone before I even realized it. So what are the things that helped me take my attention back? Over the past few years, I started experimenting, not because I wanted to quit social media forever, but because I wanted to feel like that I'm choosing to use social media instead of it choosing me. And the first lesson was simple. Replace, don't just remove. Deleting social media is not enough. If all you do is removing the habit, your brain immediately starts looking for something to replace it with. That's when I started listening to podcasts and working on my English. I started to work on my photography and my filmmaking skills, reading books instead of scrolling, going for walks without constantly checking my phone. At first, it felt boring because my brain got used to constant stimulation. And by the time something beautiful happened, boredom disappeared and curiosity came back. Number 2, use focus mode. Another lesson that helped me was making distraction less available. I started using focus mode, blocking social media during work, during studying, during writing. Not because I suddenly became disciplined, but because I know myself. Sometimes it's easier to remove temptation than to fight it every 5 minutes. Number 3, create friction. I also made social media slightly harder to reach. I logged out social media platforms, turned off notifications, used long passwords. Small inconveniences, but those tiny barriers interrupted the automatic habit. Sometimes that 2-second pause was enough for me to ask, do I actually need this? Most of the time, I didn't. Number 4, delete the apps. Eventually, I removed most social media apps from my phone. I could still access them through the browser, but the experience was not enjoyable anymore. And strangely, that inconvenience became one of the best things I ever did because it made me become intentional, not automatic. Number 5, control your environment. One thing I've learned from books like Atomic Habits that environment is so important and willpower is not enough. That's why I took a radical, and you can call it an extreme step. I turned it off the router and I didn't use it anymore. And I can say that it's been 5 years without a router and Wi-Fi. I depend on the small quota of my mobile data for WhatsApp and checking my channel. But what did I do to upload my videos and even study my lectures? I used to go to workspaces to study and to download the whole lectures of the week at a time. And if I wanted to upload a certain YouTube video, I used to do that as well. Nowadays, since I don't have enough time to go to workspaces, I depend on the mobile data to upload my videos, but I sacrifice some quality to decrease the sizes of the videos to be able to upload them with the mobile data because, it will not be enough. I'm doing all of that not because technology is bad, but because my attention is so valuable. My time is so precious, and the easiest way to protect it is to add some frictions. So, what changed? After that experiment, the biggest surprise was not that I spent less time online. The biggest surprise was everything I got back. My attention slowly returned. I could read for longer again. I could stay in the bus for 2 hours writing without checking my phone. Sometimes I forget that I have a device that is called mobile phone. I could sit with my own thoughts without immediately needing entertainment. Journaling became deeper. Books became enjoyable again. Walks became peaceful again. Conversations became more present. And perhaps the biggest change of all that my mind became quieter, not because life became easier. Maybe life is now busier than it was in quarantine. I am working, studying some medicine, making YouTube videos, teaching online, and trying to improve my English. Life did not slow down, but my mind did. I don't think that digital detox means running away from technology. Technology is one of the greatest gifts and inventions we have ever created. It introduced me to people, to ideas and opportunities that changed my life, including the ideas I'm sharing with you today. So the goal is not rejection. So the goal is freedom, to open your phone because you decided to do that, not because you could not tolerate 10 seconds of silence. Because attention is becoming one of the rarest resources in the modern world, and learning to protect it is one of the best skills we will ever develop. So if you're thinking about trying a digital detox, don't think of it as giving something up. Think of it as getting something back, your attention, your peace, and maybe a little more of yourself.